All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in here to the SHIPIT Nation baseball show. But hey, we got our man BJ here with us. Pretty excited to talk about this slate today, BJ. It's a kind of goofy looking slate. We got some top heavy pitching, it appears. We got a Coors slate game here that I find to be a little bit interesting here today. But hey, before we get let's say hi to the people as Mr. Titletown usually does. Ben Jizzy, Nate D, Darren, Parabay, Michael, Pojen, Keith, Pojen, Stoner, wins a lot. Nades is in the house. MN, Holler, Juice, Pojen, Stoner again. Taco, Todd. Appreciate all you guys being here. I had to bump it back a little bit today. We had a little bit of schedule issues here with the crew, but we're here ready to roll. For those that are looking over at the SHIPIT Nation page for the slate plan, I will post that up there as soon as it's done. Hey, BJ, I did that so they didn't just check it all out and not watch us. You know, they have to watch if they want to see what the fuck I think about it all here today. But hey, been a great week, man. I spent last week up north in Michigan, took my camper up, BJ, stayed at a Michigan State Park up there, got to go on Higgins Lake. If anybody's familiar with that, man, that lake was pretty damn cool. White sand. There was lots of areas you could just chill out and drink and have fun. Bert fried my fucking chest, my back, fucking stupid ass. I'm drinking, BJ, not fucking attention to what's going on. You think I know fucking better, but fried my ass up. But man, I'll tell you what, been frying up them leaderboards too over there on FanDuel here recently. Been smoking it up over there pretty good. And our boy Scarface has been tearing it up. Got to give a little clap to my man Ham. $2 ticket, fucking smashing for $33K on a homer. I seen him put in the baseball chat, said fucking Ohtani, and I was like, fuck Ohtani. That motherfucker cost me first place in like 3 tournaments beat. I was like, fuck this guy. I was pissed off at Ohtani. And then when I saw he won $33K, I was like, all right. But we got my man Nades. How many safety meetings? I mean, what, today? At least 6 or 7. What is it, 4:30? It's all day, my friend. But hey, got to bring in BJ. How's your week? How's everything going? What do you think of this slate real quick before we dive in? And you want to say hi to any of the people? Have it.
Yeah, no, nice packed house today. Comments are going off. Everybody's smashing the like button early. You were being a little nice. Schedule was my fault, so I appreciate the hour pushback, but we're going to be all right. We got a fun night, so much pitching. And on DraftKings, we got a fun 111 slate. If you're a multi-enter guy, we got the $5 slate. I think it's $50K up top or something. I'm checking now, but it's going to be a fun little day. So I appreciate you guys waiting an hour and excited to throw some darts at some of this pitching. Yeah,
pitching's definitely interesting here today. When you open up the app and you're looking, you're thinking, man, it's pretty good pitching, but there ain't too many dudes that are over like 8K, even on DK. It's like, like pretty good pitching guy. It just seemed like few days like we get 8 to 10 dudes over 8K and a couple guys in the 10s and 11. It's just not like that here today. But I'll tell you, there's one guy that really stands out because the matchup is
think you guys lost me, huh?
Are we there? Where's BJ? Man, I don't know what the hell happened.
Back on me, man.
I don't know what happened. I think the whole internet, everything. I don't know what the hell happened, but my power went out. Everything went out. I don't know. But everything went out here at my house. So I don't know about you all, but that was probably me because obviously I'm driving the damn bus. But I don't know what happened. But hey, we'll get back at it here. But when we got cut off there by the aliens before, but we were talking about some pitching, just kind of diving into it. But for me, like I was saying, there's one clear pitcher that I think is in a really good spot. That's Sonny Gray here against the Rays. The Rays fucking suck, man. That offense is terrible after the trade deadline. I've been kind of picking on him here recently. Arrighetti lit him up here the other day. I was all over that one. So, bro, click a sec. Link got hacked. Hey, don't worry about it, motherfucker. I don't need to do that. I've been married within a year. You know, like when you get married in a year, I'm putting all the pennies every time I get laid in one jar, and I'm going to see how long it takes to get them out afterward and see how long. So we'll see what goes on. The pennies are stacking up too, I'll tell you, but you know, it's going to take a while, BJ, to catch up with those motherfuckers. But on this one here, you know, and we'll start off by saying too, BJ, let's just cross off this Yankee and Angel game. You know, it looks like that's going to be an absolute mess. So I'm not going to include Heel in our group of pitchers.
I think it's not even on the DK slate. Oh, it is. Okay. It just, yeah, I'm crossing it off, and we can find winners the other way. So let's do that.
Yeah, Roth has it as an orange. So usually he doesn't even expect it to play. So I don't expect that either, but just kind of looking real quick, you know, you got Gray, you got Shota, you got Rodriguez, Castillo, Pablo Lopez, Valdez, Lugo, Kershaw. I mean, you got a handful of guys up here that, you know, when you look at them and their names, like, oh, these guys have all been, you know, SP1s on slates before, you know, that we've looked at here recent times. But, I mean, just kind of looking at it, you know, when I look at here, you know, you got Rodriguez against the Blue Jays, I think is interesting. Shota against the Twins. I mean, the Twins have a really low team total. You look at that. Castillo against the Tigers, I think, is really interesting. The Tigers just don't have any lefty power, which you got to have to get to Castillo. So I think Castillo is really interesting. Lopez, Framber against the Rangers. You could go Lugo against the Red Sox, which just not a fan of. He hasn't been pitching too well. Kershaw, I'm just not thinking is quite right yet there. So I'll just kind of leave him alone. But I'll tell you, when you just look at the top group, just sitting here, I think Sonny Gray, Castillo, Pablo Lopez, I think is interesting. But I think Sonny Gray and Castillo are my two favorite.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree. With this many options, I'm going to try and target, you know, high strikeout percentage, and Gray almost at 31, Castillo, you know, that's one of your favorites. You're going to make me rethink that a lot. But for me, it's going to be Gray and Lopez kind of attacking the Rays and the Cubs. Those are going to be the top of my list. But like we said pre-show, I don't think you can really go wrong with a lot of these guys.
No, I think today's a slate where, you know, I usually think to myself, like, how many dudes have a chance to put up a really big number? And I think this is the kind of slate today. You got to hit pitching. I mean, there could be a few guys on here that could put up some pretty decent numbers here today. But, you know, when you look over at the offense, like I said, you know, we got the Coors Field. You know, there isn't too many high-priced offense. I think today pitching is something you're going to want to kind of hone in on a little bit more. So a lot of times I just build my lineups first, and then I kind of see what I got left for pitching if I need to make any changes when I really like some stacks. But I think today is a day where I might have to start out with pitching and just be more conscious of that because, like I said, I think there's just too many guys over here that could throw up a good number. I mean, Sonny Gray, Tampa Bay has been just terrible. I mean, I would just pretty much probably lock in Sonny in most spots. I see takedown here money. I just no. You get some hell of a leverage there. I can't do it. No way. So,
yeah.
But
I saw
is there
a comment
any
in
other
here
thing,
talking.
any guys here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say any
My
guys
bad.
here over 8K that anybody else you want to talk about?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, I'm going to take out Kershaw and then kind of attack, you know, just whatever fits my lineups best. You know, it's one of those days where if you get the lineup you like, I'm okay going down to a guy because there's so many options. But if I can get Gray and Lopez in my lineups, I'm going to be very, very happy.
Yeah, the salaries are really tight, especially on FanDuel. I mean, you can pretty much get everybody for, around like a $1,200 difference. I mean, everybody's pretty tight. So I think pitching's going to be pretty spread out. I do think Gray and I'm going to guess Castillo too are going to be probably the two higher owned pitchers. Castillo on DK 8,200 against the Tigers. Sign me up. Like I said, if Riley Green was in, they had a better lefties. I wouldn't be. I mean, it's just not a park that you really, it's a pitcher's park. So I don't know. Castillo for me is a guy. I mean, Gray and Castillo would be the two I'd use on DK. But
yeah, DK, what is it? What do you say? $200 difference, huh? Yep. What do you think the ownership percentage is going to be between those guys? How different is it going to be? Is it all going to be on Lopez, or are we going to get equal exposure to Castillo? That I think today it's so hard to distinguish with so many different guys.
Yeah, I think you're going to end up seeing. It's not going to be super chalk. I mean, they'll probably be in the 20 percentiles. I don't think anybody gets to 30 today, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I see a couple things here. You're saying Cervino, huh?
In that game, PPD.
Yeah, that's what we're going
at the Met in Colorado. I mean, that one's interesting. We'll get there when we get to the lower price guys, but I just think today pitching is pretty strong today. So we'll get through. Here's some other guys here, but we got some other guys here too below the 8K range. We got Elder against the Brewers. We got Bassett against the Orioles, Bello against the Royals, Springs and the Cardinals, Severino against the Rockies. You got Cannon, Stripling. You got Montero, who's the cheapest price guy for the Tigers on DK over there against the Mariners. I don't think I could go there, but all kinds of guys here today I think are options. I mean, you mentioned Severino. I'd like to see a little bit more out of him. That dude's just such a roller coaster, man. I mean, yes, we do like to attack Colorado, but if I'm only playing like 2 or 3 teams, I don't think I could get to Severino. I think that would be pretty tough just because I think it's so risky, and I think there's so many options up top that could just absolutely burn you. Like you got to get an A+. You got to get an A+ effort out of him. And, just kind of looking at his game log, he's had a 27-point game 3 starts ago, mixed in with a -6, a 13, a 17, a -1.7, an 8, a 35. I mean, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 out of 8 starts. The dude's, been any good, and he's faced Minnesota, Atlanta, Miami, Washington, Pittsburgh. I mean, it's not like he's facing the top offenses. That's what kind of worries me. I mean, I think that's a risk. I think he could get there. I mean, that's what GPPs are all about, right? But I don't think unless you want to go Mets stack, which is you got a few bats over 5K, and if you wanted to go that route, I don't really see the need today really to drop down too low. I'm all about, you guys ever see my cores? I'm all about finding the cheapest, best pitcher that I can get to get me some bats, because I feel like most times to win a GPP, the bats are going to win it for you. I just think today's a slate you're going to have some pitching just because there's so many strong options today. I think today's like a SP1 day, like the first day. There's a lot of guys out here that can put up some numbers. So usually there's only a handful that we really got to avoid. And when that's the case, I'm not really afraid to fade the top end pitching. I think today's a day that you best get you a pretty good number. I think Castillo and Sonny Gray are in pretty good spot. Anybody below 8K that stand out for you?
No, I agree with what you're saying. You kind of look at some of these guys and they're versus good offenses. And then you talk about Cervino. He's 18% strikeout rate, almost a 9% walk rate. I don't want that in Coors Field. I saw something in here about Stripling. There's no upside there, in my opinion. I know we like to attack, specifically that offense, but I don't think he has more than 3 strikeouts. He doesn't go very deep into games. So I agree with what you're saying. I'm going to kind of focus on getting different at bats. I'm going to pick my favorite pitchers and just in my thought process, think if I can get them both to 30, you get such a ladder on the field if some of these guys get cute around the bottom end. If I had to pick one, Bello, but I mean, I don't like playing, or I don't like going against the Royals. So I agree. I'm staying in the top range today, and if that means I sacrifice for bats, that's okay.
Yeah, here's Aaron brought up, the wind there in Wrigley is blowing in pretty heavy. I think people are going to see that. They may go, may lean a little bit more over to Lopez, but I mean, how can you deny Gray here against Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay's just been so bad. Golly, they've been terrible. Mm-hmm. But I think today pitching's really going to be spread out. I don't think you're going to see too many guys. I think there's 6-7 guys that could be in play today. I mean, over on FanDuel, it's a little easier. On DK, the bat pricings are a little bit higher, but yeah. So we'll get into that. But rank your top 4 pitchers for me.
Gray, Lopez. You kind of got me on this Castillo train a little bit. And then if I had to pick a 4th, I'm probably going Gyiraszin against the Blue Jays. Hoping he doesn't, get his walk rate any higher. It's almost 8% now. But I think this would be a good little spot. They haven't scared me much recently. So Gray, Lopez, Castillo, Gyiraszin.
All right. I am going to go Gray, Castillo, Lopez, and then I will go, that bottom. I think I'm going to go Shota down there too. I think he's interesting against Minnesota. So, but yeah, I think there's a few different ways, bringing up that win game there in Wrigley, blowing in. I think some people are going to go, they're going to look at that. I think Grayson's a pretty good pivot though. I do think he's in play too. Toronto doesn't have too much power, so I don't mind, going against, going after them either. But yeah, all kinds of options here on the slate here today. But hey, before we get too far, I need to mention here what we got going on here at SHIPIT Nation. So let's just check out here the NFL package. You guys get over there, check it out, $2.99. We do have the optimizer, which is included. You can see the discount gets you guys more money throughout the season to play. Put in your bankroll, put in week to week. Paying for content's one thing, but paying for good content at a great price is another. But hey, you see here, you got this NFL package, and then of course, we got an early bird bonus, and until the NFL season, we'll give you free access until the NFL season starts to get you all the sports. If you want to dabble a little bit, maybe in some golf, which, man, every damn week we are pumping out some pretty good screenshots here for the members that have been absolutely crushing, whether it be Showdown or the entire week over there. Go MMA, Title of Marley, been absolutely crushing that as well. So, man, make sure you guys go over and check it out. But here it is, code NFL 50. I mean, I think you go to the website. There's a big banner up there that you can click, and it's right up there. So make sure you guys get over there, check all that out. And let's not forget about our friends over there at Drafters. If you don't have an account yet, get over there, check it out. Get you $100 deposit bonus up to $100 by using promo code.
We go down again. They got us again. You guys can hear me here. I think I'm good. It sounds like. Hell yeah, bro. I'm good. Uh-oh. Lost us here. Everybody can hear me still, correct? Yeah, he had to go start his safety meeting here. We can wait a couple of minutes until he's back. Any questions before we get going to games here? Guys, going back while we kind of fill some time, going back to the site, I mean, the site's been on fire, whether it's golf, whether it's Hebrew, whether it's Scarface in the Discord, Ham's turning $2 into 30 grand. We're crushing as a site, putting some pressure on me here, kind of post a couple of good screenshots moving forward. But yeah, this is the place to be. So if you guys are kind of on the fence going into football season, kind of catching some live streams and you're not signed up yet, you guys get on the train, at least give it a try. And whether it's Discord, Coors, Slate Plan, some of these live shows, I believe we're all hitting on all cylinders. And I've been a member of the community, 10, 11 years now. And before I even was a part of the team, this was a place where you could always find good information and find winners. So let's see here. Let's give it a second until Gyiraszin gets back in here. As far as Coors Field goes, I mean, it's like every Coors game. Personally, over the season, I kind of been jumping back and forth. I'm in the boat where I want to fade it whenever I can, but it's pretty tough to miss some of these bats you're looking at for the Mets side. Let's just look at the stats over the last 30 days. Hell yeah, he's back. All right.
I don't know what the hell's going on, man. We're getting all kinds of rainstorms here in Michigan, so I don't know what the hell is going on. But where are we at?
I was waiting for you to get back to go game by game. I'm just playing up the site about all the winners we've got and how everybody's lighting the world on fire, putting some pressure on me to post some screenshots around here so I can hold up my keep.
Lots of fun. Hey, we got NFL coming up here pretty soon. I can't wait for that. That's always a lot of fun. But I'll tell you, we got the live final for DK for baseball coming up here in a couple weeks. When that gets to be when that's over, then I'm gonna probably start really diving in to baseball. It's like when the live finals are over, even for football, it's like, it's not as much fun for me at least anymore. But all right, let's dive through in these games here, BJ. But of course, the Yankee game already postponed, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we got Baltimore here going up against Toronto. We got Baltimore's a -155 favorite, sitting at an over under 8.5. Rodriguez against Bassett. Just kind of looking here. I mean, lefties do get the Bassett, so I think that's kind of interesting as far as the Orioles. I mean, Gunnar Henderson, all these lefties that they have, but man, that Baltimore lineup's been getting so deep here recently. You kind of have to start worrying about like the Twins, man. They've been pinch hitting quite a bit. So, but man, I think this Baltimore team's in kind of an interesting spot here against Bassett. I'm not really a fan here of this Toronto lineup against Gyiraszin Rodriguez, but I do have a little bit of interest here in Baltimore, especially lefties. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, their lineup is so stacked. And then you add in Jackson, and we're kind of looking around. I mean, I'm looking at the current season, nothing, and everything you see is green, 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 green. If you were to go to the last 30 days here, Gunnar, he was kind of hot for a sec, kind of slowed down a little bit, not a lot of power, but I just have so much fun playing this lineup because you can go 1 through 9, and I'm a Jackson Holiday guy, so I was upset when they sent him down. I get it, but now he's back in the lineup. He got the monkey off his back, and I've been playing him a little bit too much. But I think this is going to line up in a team that I definitely want to stack. I'm going to focus on guys like, Ryan. I mean, Gunnar is a little expensive, but Ryan O'Hearn, and then getting different with the bottom half of the lineup. But Colton up top, he's been playing well in the leadoff spot. And they're just fun to stack, man. And that's what DFS is all about. Have some fun, make some money, and you always feel like you're live when you play them.
Yeah, Holiday makes that stack a hell of a lot cheaper. As a Tiger fan, I'm still fucking pissed they didn't trade Scooble and try to figure out how to weasel that kid away from Baltimore. I would have liked that. But King of Smack, yeah, I hit the bong a few times here today. Damn Skippy. It's been raining so fucking hard you can't even go outside. But that's all right. Hey, that's what we do. That's how it works sometimes. Safety meetings are good for you. A lot of things get accomplished during safety meetings around my neighborhood. That is for sure. But moving on here to our other games that we have. The next one, we have Milwaukee at Atlanta. This one's sitting at a total of 9. We got Atlanta a -130 favorite over Colin Ray. I know Atlanta just saw Colin Ray here a few weeks ago. Only got like 3 or 4 or 5 hits, maybe 3 homers though. But they really didn't tear up Colin Ray here, but definitely got some power in that one there. But I don't know. I think Atlanta's interesting. It's just I wish, Ray just hasn't really been beat up too much, but Atlanta has been stroking the ball pretty well here in recent times. Riley's been hitting the ball pretty well. So I think Atlanta is interesting here in this stack here. I would say it's not like a standout for me here today, but definitely a stack here I think you should consider.
Yeah, I certainly agree. Ozuna, I mean, I didn't realize he's 6th in WOBA, 7th in slugging. I know he's had a good season, but I didn't think it was that good. Riley, he's been hitting the ball well. And one of my favorite names to click, not so much for the first half of the season, but I'm going to get back to clicking it near the end, is Matt Olson. Always dangerous in that cleanup spot. So this is going to rank higher on my stack list. But when I do play this stack, I'm really focusing like 2 through 7. And with that, I know it's expensive, but I just feel comfortable playing this. I don't want to get down to the bottom and play, Merrifield. I know Jared, he was on fire for us for a couple of weeks, but I'm going to focus on minis with Riley, Ozuna, Olson. I know it's expensive and kind of staying about that 2 through 6 mark, trying to get as many ABs as I can. We picked on Colin Ray to start the season. It didn't work out. Like you said, he hasn't really getting blown up, but I think season's a long time. So some of these, gas cans we like to attack, numbers always come back around.
Yeah, now you look at Colin Ray, he is more of a ground ball pitcher to the right side, 52%. So, I mean, you're going to want guys that, especially from the right side, that hit fly balls. I mean, Soler, Riley, Ozuna, all these guys, DNR, they all hit the ball in the air. Arcia actually has the lowest fly ball rate, but he's actually been the hottest hitter on the Braves. So I think they're all in play here today. They're a little bit more expensive than you probably want to pay. So, but I think Atlanta's definitely in play today. Definitely a lineup that, you can get behind when you start looking at the 7-8 hitters, thinking, can you turn this lineup over a few times? Some of these teams after 4 or 5 is like the Dodgers, you get past the 4 or 5 hitter, you're just like, you're just not too enthused about it. But definitely think the Atlanta is interesting. So, but here, bad lads, safety meetings are mandatory in Detroit. Being a Detroit fan, not during football season, it wasn't, especially last season with U of M winning the national title. And don't give me any shit about vacating it because that's all crap. Who cares? They won. I saw it with my own damn eyes. You'll never take it away from me. So, and then
talking about that, who doesn't stretch the lines of cheating right in this game? I mean, Division I college football. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, there's so much that isn't talked about. That
what cracks me up is the SEC fans who literally overload their rosters. They fucking push around scholarships like they're fucking candy. It's just a fucking joke. All the shit that goes on. And if they can't have the fucking signals in their helmets at this day and age with all the money that they're making off the TVs, shame on them. That's their own fucking problem. I'd steal the shit too. Whatever. It's called gamesmanship. It's like, hey, you can steal signs in baseball. You're the dumbass that can't do the signs good enough. Why do you think there's fucking signs, Pete? I don't understand that shit. This shit never made any fucking sense to me.
No. Hey, we'll get back to baseball really quick, but I saw the welcoming for I don't know if it was, guys that have already committed to Texas or if it was recruits, but I mean, you're walking into the facilities. I mean, some of these facilities might be better, than some of these NFL facilities. And, they got all their cars lined up and I'm thinking, goodness gracious, as an 18, 19-year-old kid, how do you say no? How do you get away from that stuff?
I mean, 18, 19-year-old kid, you're coming to school, you got a nice car. Every fucking girl in that university just is looking at you as a lottery ticket. I mean, what a fucking life at that age. Like, holy shit. But Yeah, hey, I get it. Harbaugh was lame for denying it, trying to say, we don't steal, we don't lie, we don't cheat in my family. Bull fucking shit. That's how you got to where you are, because in that dirty world you play in, you had to keep up. So don't give me that bullshit. I ain't buying that. And I don't care if they cheated. I'm a Michigan fan, and if you'd have told any of you assholes before the season started that your team would cheat, you're going to win the national title, okay, because it's happened a year after. If they've taken Auburn, what the fuck, man? It's shit's been going on for years. Now they pay the players, the hypocrites, after all the shit they've been doing all the year. Let's not get started on all that shit. A lot of fun. Anyway, but hey, we love it. I love the rivalry with the Buckeyes. I got a lot of friends that are Buckeye fans. It is fun as hell to give them shit. Yeah, 3 in a row too, by the way. But so let's move on. We got Tampa Bay and St. Louis.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. I do want to talk about a mini really quick for the Brewers.
Okay.
Over the last 30 days, I don't mind a Contreras, a Damas, and a Bowers, or throwing in a Reese, kind of that 3 through 6 kind of stack. I would be on board. ISOs are looking good, above 300 for both for Willie and Hoskins. Worth a note that I don't mind kind of getting a little different with some of those bats.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Actually, that's a pretty good call. Looking at it, Milwaukee and Cincinnati are the two that are just absolutely swiping bags left and right. I mean, they're so far ahead of everybody else. So, Cincinnati doesn't always have the power that I'm looking for, especially when there's a lefty. But man, when just a stolen base upside for both these teams are definitely something to keep in back of your mind as well. But Tampa Bay, St. Louis, like I said, we're sitting there at a game total 7.5. We got Tampa Bay plus 130, St. Louis minus 155. John Gray on the hill today. Man, I really like John Gray. Like I said, I'm not going to get to any of these Tampa bats. You got Springs here against St. Louis. Pretty much a ground ball pitcher. So, I don't know. I just can't get on board with St. Louis here. They are going to be able to throw a bunch of righties at him here. But, man, Tampa Bay's just been they've been just bad, especially offensively. But, yeah, give me some Gray here. I think it's a pretty good spot for him. Tampa Bay's just after this trade deadline, they're bad.
Yeah, I agree. Not touching anything on that side. You said you're not so much of a fan of the St. Louis side. Last 30 days, we got some batters that are popping. So I don't mind a little one-off or maybe even like a 2-man stack, get a little different. We do have 11 games today. So if you're able to sneak out a couple of home runs and get these guys kind of right, I don't mind it. I know Tommy Famson's coming over, that he got stabbed at a strip club in San Diego when he played for us. So I don't like talking about him, but he came in, hit a couple of bombs. It was kind of fun to watch. And Goldie, I know it's only, 24, 25 at bats over the last 30 days, but he seems to be heating up a bit. So I could see 1 through 5 all righties if you're making a ton of lineups, but righty power specifically for me.
Yeah, Tommy Pham I forgot he got stabbed.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's just terrible.
Yeah. I mean, at least you're in San Diego, go down across the border, go to Mexico, or go up to LA. You don't got to do it in San Diego. Come on now.
Yeah, I got to believe I've been to San Diego, and I got to believe them are professional wallet sniffers, kind of like in Los Angeles. They're professionals. They know what's up. That is for sure. But
their craft,
Absolutely. Hey, the oldest craft in the world in time's history. Either that, but we got Houston and Texas here in Texas. We got Houston sitting at what favorite are they? I just saw it here. -1. Well, actually, they're -150. Pretty much a straight up game. Texas -105. Over under sitting at 8.5. We got Valdez against Malley here. Just looking at this one here, I think you could look at a Valdez if you really wanted to. I think he's kind of deeper in the pitching pool. As we mentioned, I'm not really too much of a fan here. Of this Texas lineup here today against Framber. I think I respect both sides too much really to pick on either one. Malley, I believe, is making his first start back. So, I don't know how much you're going to get of him, but, I think he'd be interesting to kind of pick on him a little bit if you wanted to go Houston. But then I sit and look at Houston's lineup, BJ. I can't get on board. It's just hard to, like that lineup. When you start getting down further down, I mean, sure, I like the Altuves, the Bregmans, the Jordan, maybe even the, Diaz, but you start getting farther down that lineup. I just don't like it. It's just hard to get on board. But I think this one here is just one that, I'm just going to leave alone. But hey, if you want to get on a mini stack for Houston, as I mentioned, maybe the top part of that lineup, I could get on board for that. But really not too much here that is sticking out for me.
Yeah, I would agree. They're just not. I'm big in the last 30 days. I know you guys have heard me talk about that a lot, but none of them are really crushing the baseball. I mean, I don't mind a Bregman one-off, but like you said, it gets pretty ugly pretty fast. We played Jordan a lot to start this season. He's not, playing the best baseball as of right now. I get it's a long season, but he's not doing the stuff he used to do. So if I'm going here, I don't mind the mini. But there's just so many games here that, if I'm making 5 to 10 lineups or even just 1 to 5, they're probably out of my player pool.
Yeah, just kind of looking here. Where was he here? I thought I saw somebody mention. I thought I saw somebody mention Springs. But with Springs with me, I just wanted to see it a little bit more. Second start. It's like, I need to see – guys, it's like Kershaw. I just need to see it a few times before I'm willing to risk rostering them. You don't get bonus points for, it even being tougher for him to get there. So, yeah, it's just no thanks. But the next one here, we got a game total sitting here at 6. Minnesota and the Cubs, both of them minus 110. We got Lopez against Shota. This one here, I think both sides of the pitching speaks for itself. We got wind blowing in. I think both pitchers are going to get rostered. I can't see any reason to play any of the bats here in this game. Obviously we're shooting for homers with wind blowing in like it is. 2 good pitchers on the mound. I think it's pretty easy to say we can skip the bats. But, both pitchers here definitely in play on this one.
Yeah, I would agree. 6, I don't think I see. 6 might be the lowest I've seen. I know you've seen it a few times, but I want to say Royce because he's been so hot, but with the winds and the condition and not many mistakes coming from Shota, I'm out on bats here because like the same thing we keep saying, get rid of these games where, you can't get and find the seats and don't limit upside. So not any bats really ring a bell here.
Yeah, sitting at 6. I don't know if there's been one all season at 6, to be honest with you. I think last time I saw that was like a playoff game, generally, when you got 2 horses on the mound, kind of like we have here today. Let's get to some more. Let's get to some of the fun games here we got coming up. We got 5 more games here on this. Well, we call it a 10-game slate since we lost one already. But we got Boston at Kansas City here. Boston plus 110, Kansas City minus 130, sitting at a game total 8.5. We got Bello and Lugo on the mound here today. I think Bello being such a heavy ground ball pitcher here today. I like playing the Royals. They've been doing pretty well, even though I don't think they have as much power. But recent times here, they've been smashing the shit out of ball. I wish they had a little bit more power to that lineup. But I think Bello is somebody that they might be able to get to. Like I said, I'm just worried a little bit about that heavy ground ball lean he has. And then you're sitting here with Seth Lugo on the other side, who has struggled a little bit. We got a Boston team that's been hitting the shit out of the baseball here in recent times. So, do you want to maybe take a shot here at some Boston, BJ, and attack Lugo? Lugo hasn't been doing shit lately.
Yeah, and if they're able to get a lineup where 4 out of these first 5 guys are all lefties, I like it a lot. I'm not a big Lugo guy, and like you said, over the last 30 days, man, geez, these ISOs are 468 for Abreu, 490 for Devers. This is a spot where it's going to be hard to get away from if you're only making 1 to 3 lineups, and it's going to be a tough fade not getting at least one of these guys in your lineup.
Yeah, you look at the last 15 days, Boston has the highest team OPS, sitting at 963, highest in the majors. And you look at Lugo's game log, got to look at it. Every other game, and we're sitting on that number coming up. He gave up 1 earned run last start, 6 the one before, 1, and then 5. So just kind of going by some silly logic. This is another game, every other game, he's getting blown up, giving up 5-6 runs. And now we got the hottest team in baseball over the last 15 days rolling in. It's like, Maybe this is a little sneaky one we could think about here, because, man, I really like this Boston lineup lately. I mean, it's something that's been, they've been hitting, turning the ball over. I don't know. I think Boston could be a stack here that maybe I could get on board with and maybe get into some of the larger field tournaments and maybe stack up some Boston here. I think that could definitely be interesting.
Yeah, well, once we kind of talk about it out loud, I really do like it a lot more than first looked at. This is a day with the number of games, like you said, it's 10, specifically on DK. They have some good contests out there. So it's, unless you're focusing on small field stuff, you're going to need to get a little different. And I mean, we could see a potential lineup with 6 lefties in it, and I don't mind playing any of them. So this is as I keep talking, this is going higher and higher up my list.
Yeah, like I said, just Lugo is a guy I definitely respect. Like I said, he's been beat up a few times, 2 out of his last 4 starts. So, I think that's definitely something you could get after here. But let's take a peek here at the next game here, and I think it's definitely interesting. We got the Mets rolling into Coors Field. Game total sitting at 11.5. That is just the whopper. I mean, we got a 6 and an 11.5 on this slate. That's like double. But we got Severino against Kyle Freeland. Now, I'll tell you what, man.
Let's hear it, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
I'm off the Mets. You could suck a dick, Mets. I am not going to fucking play you guys. I know everybody's going to load on you guys today. I'm not going against Kyle Freeland. Dude's been pitching pretty well. No, thank you. I'm going to pass on them. I'm just going to leave them be. So that's my hot take of the day. If that beats me, it fucking beats me. I hope everybody goes there and rolls on it and just go ahead. I mean, I'm not interested. Freeland has actually been pitching pretty well here. 7 out of his last 8 starts, he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'll pass it up.
I was all over this Freeland last time he played against the Angels. I have gone to him a couple times this season in Coors Field. It's one of those guys going to fall into a category where, statistically speaking, it looks like you can attack him. And I know that happens, more often in Coors Field, but he's never really getting blown up. Like what you just said, how many games has it been since he's been getting rocked? A handful.
Yeah. He gave up 6 runs, 7 out of his last 8. He's been just fine. He gave up his 6 earned runs in San Francisco. So, but I mean, Freeland's been pretty good, especially at home. I just, I'm just going to leave it be. I mean, we got to look for, let's hope, 30% of the field rolls on the Mets here today. So, I mean, pitching is pretty soft, both sides, especially DK. We don't have any 10K guys. What's great, 9,200. So I think that that's definitely interesting, but I'm going to pass on the Mets. I mean, I'll leave it alone. I don't even care. I'm passing. So, hey, if you want to play it, I get it. I mean, you're going to have the exact right 4 guys if it does go off anyway. So, I think I'll just leave it alone. But, I mean, if you did want to go after it, obviously you could look at guys, like Alonso, if you wanted to go there. I like their fly baller. JD Martinez always gets after a lefty pretty well. He's more of a ground ball pitcher to the left side. So, I mean, he is a little bit of a fly ball pitcher, but, I just can't get on board. He's just been pitching too well. So I'm looking for a reason to get off of it. That's good enough for me. I'm just going to pass, let everybody else play it. You know what? As our boy D-Gen says, we're going to play that fucking donkey chalk. We ain't playing no donkey chalk around here. So, but hey, all y'all, he went through some tough shit here recently. Man, send him a little free. Let's send him a message. There's some tweets out there. Give him some love. My man is out there fighting, man. So inspirational. I'll tell you what, man. I give that guy. That guy's a tough motherfucker. I'll tell you that. I had half the balls that guy has. Man, I'll tell you, he has more courage than I hope I could ever have. But I'll tell you, that guy's something else. But let's get back here to the slate. We got my team coming up here, BJ. We got the Tigers at Seattle. Another low total here, sitting at 7.5. We got Seattle sitting at a -200. That's another reason why I like Castillo, especially on FanDuel, get that win and get me that quality start. But I do say that I think this I think the Seattle offense is another one here that's in a pretty good spot here against Montero. Montero, the cheapest pitcher, but man, he's got beat up here recently. I think the Seattle lineup, adding a Rosarena, adding Turner, I mean, it's gotten a little bit longer. I think this lineup's in pretty good spot. I think Kyle Rowley is in a great spot here today. Give me some of these Mariners. I think the Mariners could absolutely just light up the Tigers. Definitely. I mean, it's not a park we like to play. Sure, I get it. But Montero hasn't all looked that great, giving up some power. But I like the Seattle bats here. I especially Raleigh. I think he's one of my top one-offs as well.
Love that. I know it's a different sport and a totally different angle, but when I bet horses, you always look at a horse that had his best rate, had his best speed figures, whatever it is, won a tough battle coming down the stretch in his last race, and I look to fade him in the next race. And I mean, with Montero going 7 innings last time out, this is a spot that definitely perks the ears a little bit. And, I want to dive deeper in. I haven't dove deep enough now. And now that you're talking about it, I'm writing it down. I'm going to take a dive at it. But just from statistically speaking, they're definitely a team that's going to be on my list tonight.
Yeah. And, you look at Seattle, they're actually the last 15 days, they're top 10 in the major leagues in OPS. You got a Tiger team here that that Montero wasn't quite ready. I think he's major league serviceable. I just think the Tigers are just struggling for starters right now. I mean, they've had so many bullpen games, and they're going to leave some of these starters out. That's something here, you can pay attention, especially with the Tigers. They're going to leave their starters out there a little bit longer here because that bullpen's been getting pretty taxed here. And King of Smack, don't worry, my friend. I won't sing that. I apologize too if your daughter's been walking around singing that one. But hey, I get excited sometimes. Like to get after. But hey, that was pretty funny. I was actually that song's actually pretty good. Actually, I won't lie. But Grandpa always told me at the dog trot, the dog that takes the poop lost. That's pretty funny, Nate D. I'll tell you what, what my grandpa told me, because we had a horse track here not too far. It was called the Detroit Racetrack, DRC. And he used to tell me, go find the old guys that are standing there and offer to buy them a beer if they give you the winners. And I'd be damn skippy. It'd be the dude with the dirty pants and shit, look like he lived there. You go buy him a silly ass beer, give him money, a couple bucks for a beer, and then he'd give you a couple winners. You run back. So I always look, when I was younger, I'd go buy them old farts some beer, and they give me some winners up there at DRC.
That's so. I grew up at Del Mar Racetrack, and I worked in the barns for 3 summers, and you had to know who you were talking to because there's different barn words, different takes from the barns. But you find your 3 or 4 guys and you go, you hit McDonald's and you take a couple double cheeseburgers out and you kind of pass them around when they have a couple of starters during the day. And you find out who's hot, who's not, who to fade. And that was what I used to do at 12, 13 years old. So that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. DRC isn't there anymore. If King of Spec, you're one of it's a Home Depot and I think it's a Costco now. But they tore all that down. I think they actually found, I'm not 100% certain, but I think they found some dead bodies too, like buried like by the barns and all that shit. It was like some serious shit. Like, I mean, it was funny. They actually just tore down the Northfield Downs track. So I don't even know, Hazel Park, I don't even know if we got any horse tracks anymore around here. Kind of a dying thing. But they used to have like dollar beer nights. We'd go up there. They had the poker room. I'd sit in them poker rooms, and just grind it out, have some fun. Always a good time, that is for sure. Hey, wherever us D-Gens can get in some action, it's always good times.
You can find action every day. Just you got to know where to look. So that's
absolutely, absolutely. But all right, let's. We got a couple games left here. We got the White Sox in Oakland. We're sitting here at a 8.5 total. We got White Sox plus 180. Are they ever going to win a game? I mean, geez, Pete's, and we sitting out there in Oakland against Stripling minus 220. Stripling's another guy that we didn't talk too much about, but I mean, the matchup here you could look at. I mean, I guess if you wanted to go cheap, I'm a little concerned about his pitch count and all that. But I mean, shit, White Sox suck. Is it 22 now, 23 in a row, something like that?
It's in the 20s, and they might set the record. I I didn't play last night, so I don't know if they even played last night or if they lost. But I think the MLB record's 23 in a row, so I know we're either right there or a couple of games away. So
yeah, that's they're absolutely terrible. But yeah, I mean, just sitting here looking, you got Cannon on the other side here against Oakland. Oakland's been hot recently. They've been hitting the ball pretty well. We got a guy here that is slight ground ball lean with Cannon. But man, I don't mind some of these Oakland bats. I just kind of wish, we'd be in a different park. Oakland's just kind of tough to get on board. I actually liked them yesterday, and I just don't feel like I just keep picking on, these bad pitchers, bad bullpens, the White Sox, the Miamis. I'm just picking on these teams that are just terrible. So, I guess you could go there. It's kind of hard with the park. Kind of dipped my toe a little bit yesterday, kind of got burned, but sitting at 8.5 late game here. But I don't know, anything you can get on board with?
Well, so it's interesting you say that because Cannon, he's gone what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, at least 6 innings. I know the fantasy points haven't been there. But he gave up 4 earned runs back-to-back games. But all these other games, man, 1 earned run, 2 earned runs. I know the strikeouts aren't there, so this just might be a fadeaway for me. I agree. I love playing a Rooker. I love playing a Blade. Butler's been on fire, but like you said, it's going to be a mix of kind of park and I think by the time this game goes off, I think a top stack has already been named and you're chasing first.
Yeah, I prefer the lefties here against Cannon. He's been pretty good, decent against some of the righties. So, Rooker and Langoliers, I feel better when, they're in better spots. So, I just kind of feel blah about Oakland today. It needs to all line up, and I need to feel real strong about playing, especially in Oakland. But yeah, if the parks were reversed, I think I'd like Oakland a little bit more than I do. But yeah, it's just hard to get on board. But man, that White Sox bullpen sucks. Like you could literally have 2 or 3 runs in the first 6 innings. All of a sudden, turn your head and they scored a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's just, that bullpen is absolutely horrible.
This is a crazy stat here. I didn't see that. How to highlight that? Goodness gracious. I know, it's funny. They tweet those things and put them on Instagram, but because you never know when you're going to get out, but that's pretty unbelievable stat. Oh, there it is. So almost $1 million, huh? Jeez.
That is crazy stat. But who would have the balls to keep flipping that over?
How many times? Well, if you watch the White Sox swing the baseball
in a row, you'd be like, I don't know, man. Fucking if you got to like a couple hundred, like 50, 60 grand, like holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be interesting. It's like when I see dudes at the craps table and they keep pressing their bets. I'm like, all right, hell yeah. But yeah, that is crazy. Good info there, Jason. That is for sure. But hey, we got one more game left here. We got Philly and the Dodgers. These two teams are definitely fun to watch. 10-10 game. This guy here being on the East Coast going to have a hard time watching that one. But yeah, we're sitting here, Sanchez against Kershaw. I think this one's interesting. It's like a playoff game here with these two teams sitting at an 8.5 total. This one here, it's tough to get on board with both these offenses here too. It's just hard to pick on Kershaw. I don't really want to pick on Sanchez. I'm just going to leave this one alone too. But I could get on board if you wanted to go this route. I don't mind it. We're sitting at a game total 8.5. So other than that big 11.5 and that 6 total we got a bunch of 8.5s. So, so this one here is in that bucket, but anything you can get on board here with this one?
No, one-offs for me. Obviously can always go Shohei. Teo's been hitting the ball. Freddie Freeman, I think he's going to be here in the lineup, and he's been crushing the ball since he's been back. So I can get behind it. Price is always so hard, and I'm a Padres guy. So if there's ever a 50-50 flip, I'm not playing them. I know it's about money before heart, but I've been talking about it for about a week. I think Padres are leading this division by the end of the month, and we're 5 back. I know the Diamondbacks just caught back up with us, but this will be our time to pounce, and I'm hoping Philly can sneak one out here, a nice little 4-3 game or something like that.
Schwarber's been hitting the ball pretty well here recently, and I don't mind Schwarber lefty situations at all. So that is a guy there that maybe would be a sneaky one if you wanted a one-off.
Nate's brought that up to me too. He smashes lefties. I mean, this was about a week ago or something. I think it was the day he double donged. They got cute and didn't play him. And
he hit a homer his first at bat that day. It was a lefty. I remember a couple people were talking about playing lefty, led off the game with a homer. Yeah, and then he hit one like a couple more innings
third
later.
Inning or something. Yeah.
So Schwarber definitely a guy that don't mind a lefty at all. But so break it down there, looking at all that. So give me your favorite 3 stacks here real quick, BJ.
You brought the Red Sox a little bit more attention than I was before the show. So I think if I had to go top 3, I think it's going to be Braves and then a T2 for Red Sox and Orioles, with me leaning with my decision and my recency bias toward the Red Sox.
All right, I am going to roll. I think I have the Orioles 1. Then I kind of have a tie between the Royals and Braves, and then I got Red Sox. So I'm going to sneak the Red Sox in there in my top 4. Probably my sneakier stack here today. So, but I really like the Orioles here today. I'm leaving the Mets off. Now, I mean, Mets should obviously high team total. They'll probably, everybody's top stack, whatever else. I'm leaving them be. Well, everybody else playing, it beats me. I'm just going to bank on Kyle Freeland having a pretty decent start here. I know the numbers, what they are. It's just Freeland. I've done it before. I'm just going to pass on it. The Mets score some runs. They scored some runs. We'll see you back here tomorrow then, and we'll talk about the slate here tomorrow and get our money back here tomorrow if that's the case. But
before we hop out too,
today.
Additionally, I saw this stat a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago now, and I haven't really looked into it, but it's these first games of a series in Coors Field. I don't know what it is, but we all jump on the boat. We see some big time power bats coming into Coors, but I don't know if they're trying to hit the ball too hard or if they're not necessarily adjusted or the travel. But I forget what the stat was, but teams aren't scoring that well in their first game of the series in Coors. So I'm going to keep riding that boat, and I like what you said. Nobody's really scared me at 30 days, so I'm going to double down on that with you.
Real quick here, what we think of Rodriguez. Is this Gyiraszin Rodriguez? If so, we mentioned we like him. I wouldn't say he's the top of the list. I think he's a pretty good pivot here today off, some of the top guys. But I think Rodriguez is definitely a place somebody you could get on board, but I think he's more of a pivot off the top few guys that we see. But he could definitely put up one of those games here that we're concerned about. I think there's several pitchers that could put up a pretty good game here today. That is for sure. So, hey, that is going to do it. But let's just real quick run down. Let's not forget about it. Last time I did this shit, I got kicked off. But let's look at our friends drafters over there. Get a promo code up to $100 by using promo code SHIPIT. Let's not forget about that. Titletown, they got a video, got some rankings out. You guys get over there, check that out. Make sure you guys check out our NFL code 50, get you $50 off the membership. So make sure you guys get over there, check all that out as well. Last time I tried to click that double button there, BJ, it booted my ass out for some reason here today. I don't know what the hell's going on with the internet at the house. I even got 2 things. I got like my hotspot from my phone. When I go to the campground, I got this little thing I take with me, and then I got the house one. But either way, arguing with me a little bit here today. But hey, I'll be right over there. I'm going to get on that slate plan over there at SHIPIT Nation. You guys can check that out. Let's keep kicking some ass. Good luck. Let's roll out some screenshots here tonight. Appreciate you joining me here, BJ. Enjoy your week. I will catch you here next week. I have Titletown here with me tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. Let's ship it.